research the markets, research the end user, research what's the problem of the current process of the current system, so that we know what's the strong points and the weakness points of the system that could improve on the shop, on the design, the dashboard. And moving on to the concept, when we wrote the user flow, we can see clearly what's the inconvenience of the strings. And moving on to the design, thus we have two space baskets on the dashboard and two file Photoshop designs on the dashboard screen. And unfortunately, we deliver too late so that our clients have their own design. So we don't continue with the design phase. And the shift cost, we have shift cost of what to the setting must be testing on the current system, not testing on our new design. Okay. Here's a list of spoil of the research response, and I think that's the most important thing on this plastic industry technology is about market strength. We predict the future strength so that we can design a website, a new website that can follow the trend, and our client can have time to repair. Moving on to the concept phase. Here's our dashboard. You can see there's many information on the dashboard right now. That's make the user confused, overload data. And as you know, that a dashboard is where user, the admin can just one look can understand what general data of an event. But when you have to cross many times, so it's make the user overload. It's very inconvenient. And that's also that we understand that may also that's called trip log. Trip log is just a features the developer team is on just for one end user. That's we find out when we have the end user research. But personally, our team think the trip log we shouldn't put the trip log on the dashboard because just one user use it. Okay. Moving on to the design space. Here's our paper sketch. The first paper sketch. Okay, let's have a look. And this is the second one. And then we visualize each to the new designs here. Okay, let me explain the new design. Compare the old system and the new designs. The new designs we design on the design strengths that the flat design website, and we customize on we put some data to each zone and just one way. That's called the personalization, and end user cannot adjust or customize this dashboard. That's this dashboard. And we use many colors, many kind of chart for the clients and end users. And the most important thing is that the own design has the same box for the number. It makes user confused. So we put context on number. You can see this is embrace or erase number. So it makes the number more clearly. And here is our second design. With the second design, the end user cannot customize with the S item. The S item was what you can see on the top, the right top, and S item. Okay, so that's customization. Each end user can customization their own dashboard. And we also have many kinds. This one, many kinds you can add more detail because this is the customization, so it's of course the users. Okay, let's take a look in comparisons. because the reasons why we use the SI combustion because back to the history of the product development. The development team share with us that when they develop features, they don't have a system design, but when they have a new client, there's more features, so that they don't that's even though the development team don't understand what they put in the dashboard, so that all the general things, the SI combustion can predict that when another client from another industry can also use that system. Okay. So before moving on to the testing phase, I have to explain the reasons why we use the UI test and usability test, because we already understand the current system very well, and we have a long time research about the UI design. So we do UI testing and usability testing. And right now, Mr. Hui will explain more detail about the UI testing. Okay, I have to remind you that this testing apply on the current system, not our new design. Okay.
Anyway, in order to identify any possible flaws in a UI design, the easiest way to do was to use an UI checklist that have all the guidelines, all the things that need to be fulfilled for an acceptable UI. We use an online UI checklist, and we trim it down a bit in order to fit the need of our current website. And the checklist is composed of 4 sections, which is with a window component, and that includes things like menu and screen titles, graphical objects that also includes static, text and fusion object, general design considerations. That includes various techniques that will contribute to a more pleasing feel on the website, that may make the user enjoy it more. And one last part is international consideration, because the system is also used by clients from other countries. So this is how we work on after we send the site individual website part of the website through the checklist. We write a short report that highlights the positives and notable negatives that may need to be taken notice of, not from this current iteration of the website. While our client have already moved on to a new system, we were hoping that with these positive and negatives, they could take note of things that they could take note of the things that they could do better in their new future products and designs. This this is usability testing, and I'd like to leave it to Mr.
So let's move to our second method of testing, which is usability testing. The usability testing is just simple. It's very simple. It is a way to see how easy to use our system is. So we're kind of generate using a survey report that contain 10 questions, and we apply it to all the features of the system. And we're also using a survey for some specific feature of system, such as adding some merchandise feature. And the survey itself is the SUS survey, which is stand for the System Usability Scale. That is one of the, in my opinion, is one of the most popular usability questionnaire to analyze the feedback of the real user. Because when we perform the test, we let the real user use our product. We're walking them through our guided test and collecting the feedback, and after that we conduct a final report for the usability test. And our team let the real user from different aspect of the different standard. All of them have an IT background, so they kind of have a deep understanding of how going to some following guided test and perform the testing. And when we do the usability testing, I recommend to the team that we should have the small number of the real test participants, because in the actual work, when we test the very small number, because when when you small number, we have the better insights, in my opinion, because when you test the system with the first user, the information that you collect will be brand new and interesting, and so on. The more number of users who perform the test, the more overlap the results that you already saw. So we just perform the test on 12 users. But at that time, we don't have the enough time to do the whole SUS survey, because the shortage of time, we only have 2 months left in our project. So we narrow the survey down to some simple version. That is because and the question is made with the format. The feature name is making a new event, what easy to perform or not. And this is our usability testing result.
So that's for the old system or for your system?
For the old system. And as you can see, the big picture of the result, we kind of divide it into 5 different sections. It's making the new event was easy to perform or not, editing the site content, and adding merchandise, and the website design was able to answer the question of the given question or not. And also the tests were enjoyable, overall enjoyable. So after conduct the final result, we kind of see the big picture of what the user think about the system, and we collect the result to further improve to the new one if the client gives us.
Like you see, that we have a poor research on the usability testing because we lack of time. So moving on to the project management, we could see here's our risk plan. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. About the first event cost script, that's already happened. We shift the cost from the design the new system to testing the current system, and we control that by self-study more about testing. That's also the reason why we don't have enough time to study full about the usability testing. So that at the end of project, we also confused about the usability testing. What is usability testing? So when we find out the results that we have the survey method, and that time we don't have enough time. So if we have more time, we can reduce, we could use the surveys more efficiently. And moving to the second one, that didn't happen. We don't have team member change over. And the third one is the most important thing. That's the pool team connections. We have the pool connection between our team members, because personally, we three members have our own job, so that's we have to focus on the job on the day. So we have to switch many slides to the messengers that everybody can follow. And the fourth one, that's enough time to learn new technologies. And some of us have to decide our own work for take more space, more time on the project. And the last one, and parts of technical features that I just told you about the simple version survey. Because we collect up time and collect up people with the current system. This survey is not a simple survey that everybody can stick the survey. It takes time. You must have IT foundation to do this survey, because it takes time to learn the system, the current system. Even though the development team co-develop their own products, they also must confuse when they use their own features. Okay, here our change model. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, the change management. The big change in our STEM is about the shift cost to the design new system, designs change to setting the current. So our awareness in the new UI design wasn't escape because we late delivering, and the research that we don't have any experience on usability testing. Sorry, and what's knowledge we have to learn how to do UI test and usability test, and the actions we already apply that self-study more, spend more time on testing, and we can maintain that even though our poor research on testing, but we think that our clients can review our surveys to apply on their products in the future for testing the system. Our UI checklist can reduce. Okay, here's summarize of our project log time. Each members in our team have different positions, different roles, but here are the common points that we learned after doing this project about the project management skill and interpersonal skill. We think that the UI UX system skill contributes a lot on our career path in the future, because web development is a big industry. Here's some reference link. Okay, before moving to the Q&A part, we have to thank Mr. Leo, Mr. Battery, Mr. Lam Quang Vũ, especially Mr. Trần Di Quang for supporting us during the project. And we have thank you a lot to the Fromlabs company give us the chance to do this project, and especially thank all the ITech staff that's supporting us during the last 6 months, and especially Miss Duy, who's always remind us many things, even though it's small thing, but many things is there for us that's completely doing this R&D project. Okay, thank you, and it's the end of our presentations. Thank you. So, do you have any question? Okay, done. You can use.
So your project is UI project. So how you consider the about accessibility problem like low vision or like impaired vision user. Accessibility problem like for impaired vision user or blind user or for screen reader. Blind impaired vision.
Okay, technical style is a very interesting question. That's we're not blaming to that, but we think that even though the blind users can use this because we use many graphics, many other zones, so it's easy. It's more easy than the current, because this is also just one design make the user confused. And this is just more than many kind of checks, many kind of zones. So,
I have two questions for you.
yes.
Please. No, I don't need it.
Okay.
One is, you mentioned that your designs weren't accepted because they were late.
Yes.
Why was that?
It is because our okay. Firstly, as a project manager, that's my mistake about the time management. And first, we think that it's easy to learn a new design, to learn to use, for example, learn Photoshop just in my prototype tool. But it takes more than time. That's we estimate. That's the estimated time. That's my mistake. So that's that's also useful lesson in the future. Estimate time. Yeah.
My next question is, this survey,
Yes.
did you design it?
No, that's have a standard. Yes.
Thank you very much.
SUS standard. Okay, thank you for your question.
You have any demo clip of the project? Demo clip?
No, this is not about the research and testing, so we don't have the demo. I also think that when I use the dashboard example, it also have all demo. It's project has its all demo. Okay. Thank you for your lesson.
Can you guide me how to use your application?
You want to use the application?
Yes, how to use, because I say yes, it's very a lot of flaw and picture.
Okay. I understand your question. I will repeat his question that he don't know how to use the system, and all the members have to experience the system. You can say experience the product. Each member has about more than 30 hours to experience that product. It's not an easy product. It's developed for a special end user. For example, the first end user is from the church event. The event just buy T-shirt. But when other competition that have the feature trip lock, that's also the pain point of the product. That is not easy to use. You have to have knowledge for use this system. And I cannot explain how to use complicated products in just a few minutes. Okay, if you have the interesting on the system, okay, I will take time later teach you how to use the system.
So it's not really friendly to new user like I have some experience when
Yes, that's the reason now why the projects happen. The developer team know the scripting of this of their products, so that they want us to redesign for more friendly.
yes, friendly with that I can do it more quickly without too much experience.
Yes,
That's right.
yes. But right now it's not. We just testing the current design. Okay. Let's make plans. When we design, we have the concept design, but we don't apply the new design on the system. So the system is we just testing the current system. So it's not right now. It's still not friendly.
This quite complex.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for your lesson.
What's the potential of the application? Potential and apply to big data or something.
Okay. Now, back to the history of the developing. When developing have a new client, they will develop a new features for the client if that feature doesn't have on the system, current system. Okay, so it's depend on the new learn in the future.
So you have a lot of deliverables in your overall project.
Yes.
So going back to the beginning, where maybe some of you will still remember, you say you have done a market research and analysis report.
Yes.
So what are the key findings of that report? Just a sentence or two. Just a summary. No need to open it. Just what was the key finding of that?
Here's a prompt about the market research.
Yeah. So I don't want to read it. Just what did your team find out about it? What was the result of that? What was the finding? I mean, it's 173 pages long.
Here's an outline of the market report. Market research.
Okay, so you're saying that the market research enables your team to outline the different functionality that this type of product provides. Okay, so that's the answer to my question.
And we on the report one, so that's what the most common, most favorite in the world
Right.
products. So that's the clients cannot know their competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
first is just the user that don't have the IT foundation, and the last one that's the ones who have the IT foundation. And when we do the end user research, most the admin have the IT foundation.
So you just mean you only consider the admin user?
No, we consider all the users. So we try to make it the most friendly that we could.
Right, so that's what my question was. What was how many different types of users did you consider?
Just to
So admin and super admin.
no, just the new users. Maybe in the future, no foundation, IT foundations and users don't have any IT foundation can
Okay.
use the system.
Right, so you designed for admin and super admin. The admin that who has IT skill and
Yeah.
admin who has no IT skill.
Uh,
Is that what you mean with two types of user?
okay. Because when we don't go to this part, because when we just design the dashboard, and you know the dashboard, everybody just in the dashboard just about seeing the data, not many action on the dashboard. And after design the dashboard, we stop designing, so we don't continue about the consider the IT admin or non-IT admin.
Right, so I'm just wondering that in the deliverables it says new UI designs. So what does it mean? That one there.
New UI design just the concept, the theme about the dashboard.
So it's all about the dashboard.
Yes.
But dashboard is a very kind of like minor thing of the
Yes.
system.
We planning we delivering the dashboard concept design. If we have if the client accept that's our concept, we continue to design more model. But unfortunately, it stop at that step.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is your new product working?
Oh no, because we place delivery so that the new design don't have accept. Our client have their own our new designs. Yeah.
I'm curious to know why you're still testing the whole system. When you already know
Okay.
you already know what the issues are.
Okay, let me explain about the new design of our client. That's just the design, not they don't apply on their product. So the product is have the new design but not copying. Just the design of the paper. I'm sorry, just the theme design not apply on the code. Not develop. Okay, not develop. Thank you for your lesson. So, do you have any question? It's a common topic website, so you guys don't have any question? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your listening.